Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot, nobody was killed. Get it in your head. And so, when martial law is called, what are you going to say? I missed the point. Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence.
Put this woman and her wig in handcuffs.
I was on the street, I know, and I went from downtown detention back out into the community, talking to people what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened in Inglewood. So, first of all, get it straight. And don't just rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw.
What?
You better shoot straight. I don't know why you're in my city. You did. The governor was not contacted. You go out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest. Did not create any violence. Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed in Paramount. What happened in Compton? What happened? There was no violence. I was on the street. I know. And I went from downtown detention back out into the community, talking to people what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened.
Wonder why people hate Democrats. People are walking away from the party. People don't trust the fake news media. Why people don't like these politicians. They think the worst of these politicians, elected officials. Right here. Here's why. Here is why. Just can't make this up, man.
In Inglewood. So, first of all, get it straight. And don't just rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw. And even those
just can't make it up.
We see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles.
Get your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives. Protesters and demonstrators are peaceful.
Watching cars.
They're saying that they have it under control.
Yeah. Just can't make it up.
Is anybody surprised that south of the border they're last loaded? It's better to make there isn't something that's going here.
We knew the battle for Los Angeles is on, and it's long overdue, frankly. Look at these scenes. This isn't somewhere on the front lines of Ukraine. This isn't somewhere in LA, but it is indistinguishable from the third world. Because it always boggles the mind why people would flee Mexico based on an asylum claim. Officers and small businesses and Americans behave like total degenerate criminals and thugs, which they are, and then get upset when we deport them back to the same country of the flag that they are waving. Doesn't make any sense to me. Look at what they were doing to the LAPD cop cars yesterday. Highway State Patrol for California. Either way, California cop cars. This is how Gavin Newsom allows his state's law enforcement to be treated. They just pulled up rocks and hurled them. Look at them hurling giant rocks. You could kill somebody. You really, truly, it's a miracle that somebody wasn't, that an officer wasn't worse injured in this horrible insurrection, which is exactly what it is. Gavin Newsom, knowing it's an insurrection, President Trump called it an insurrection. The back and forth between these two is quite remarkable right now.
Problem are professional agitators, they're insurrectionists, they're bad people, they should be in jail. Thank you.
President Trump saying the insurrectionists should be in jail. Gavin Newsom saying, leave Brittany alone.
Get your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes. Been here 10 years. The fear, the horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop.
You actually cared about your community. Anyways, I don't even have to say it, man.
And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
He's saying, Tom Homan, arrest me. Gavin Newsom saying, Tom Homan, arrest me, because Tom Homan saying, I'm going to arrest Democrat politicians that stand in my way. And President Trump giving this expression today at the White House saying, make my day.
Newsom is keep daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Should he do it? I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done it. It's about 100 times over budget. We're putting a flagpole over there. Under budget. I always do under budget.
Donald Trump saying, yeah, why not? You know what? Hey, sure. I wouldn't mind. Trump says I would arrest Gavin Newsom after California governor dares border czar to cuff him. Border czar. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like a challenge, and the Trump administration is up for that. President Trump unleashed on Gavin Newsom. He's done a terrible job, grossly incompetent. These people are causing problems. They're paid agitators. They're paid insurrectionists. They need to go to jail. Well, the president's administration is taking no time in sending them.
They're coming out.
Anti-ICE rioter in LA pressed law enforcement on stilts and ate it. Look at this. Jeez. Well, that's one way to go down. Jeez, unbelievable. Shared a post from the city getting burned down in 2020. Gavin Newsom thinks it's an own to say this video is from 2020. Do you believe this? Yeah, you've been good at destroying the state for a decade. Thanks a lot for taking the bait. This video is from a different horrific failure of mine. No, this is from a different time when leftist militants were torching police cars, and I sat back and cheered them on. Wow, you really dunked on us, Governor. Good one. Well, no more dunking, ladies and gentlemen. The dunking is over because Northcom has issued a statement. Northern Command is saying, we're sending in the real Marines to fix this problem. Northern Command Public Affairs. U.S. Northern Command has activated a Marine Infantry Battalion, placed on alert status this weekend. Approximately 700 Marines, 2 battalions, 7th Marines, 1st Division, seamlessly integrate into the Title 10 forces, Task Force 51, protecting federal personnel and federal property in the greater Los Angeles area. The activation of the Marines is intended to provide Task Force 51 with adequate numbers of forces to provide continuous coverage of the area. So good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Task Force 51 is comprised of 2,100 National Guard soldiers, 700 active duty Marines. Bro, you've called in the Marines. Here's SecDef. Due to the increased threat to federal law enforcement, federal buildings, 700 active duty Marines from Camp Pendleton are being deployed to Los Angeles to restore order. We have an obligation to defend federal law enforcement officers, even if Gavin Newsom will not. Ooh, it's getting spicy. Imagine being a Marine and finally getting to defend your homeland instead of somebody else's. That's a take. That is quite a take. He must be thinking about other women. Him deploy the Marines to LA. And how do I sign up for the Marines? Right? U.S. Marines have served honorably across multiple wars to defend democracy. Those are heroes. They shouldn't be deployed on American soil, facing their own countrymen to fulfill a deranged fantasy of a dictatorial president. This is un-American. No, it was un-American. Look at the photo. Look at the photo of this jackass. No, this is un-American, you dumb bastard. Like burning a city to the ground, torching a city to the ground, hurling giant stones to kill cops, covering your faces with masks in order to commit crimes in a lawless hellscape Gotham that was created that should have been paradise on earth. LA was paradise on earth like 50 years ago. descended into absolute chaos. This is what Gavin Newsom says is a peaceful protester. There you go. Hegseth is activating
Peaceful,
Marines,
under control.
of Marines roughing up the illegals would send recruitment through the roof. Marines going to LA. We're here to F shit up. Don't worry, California. The Marines are mostly peaceful too. Oh boy. Yikes. If Trump deploys the Marines to Los Angeles, I will be suffocating under all of the voted for this medals I'll be wearing. Voted for it. If we can't send the Marines to reclaim our own country, we shouldn't have Marines in the military at all. That's exactly right. I don't care if they send 500 Marines or 100,000 troops, whatever it takes to stop the communist uprising. Do not back down. Well, Gavin Newsom's getting arrested. I guess we could arrest Hillary, right? You could probably do the you could do the lock her up thing, right? Isn't she inciting here? Isn't this a call to incitement? Isn't that what they tried to arrest Trump for? California Governor Newsom didn't request National Guard deployed in his state following peaceful demonstrations.
Oh, Hillary.
How they do this. These are the peaceful demonstrations.
Whew.